Today's guest is someone whose work quite literally shapes the places we live, work, and grow in. Mr. Dinesh Harode isn't just an urban planner, he's a system builder.
Yeah, some of the key milestones I would like to refer here is,
Sure.
basically designing the entire smart city mission and AMRUT mission for Government of India.
And we often hear about how powerful PPPs can be, but also how messy they get when interests clash. From your experience, what's one way to truly make public-private partnerships equitable and sustainable?
You'll be surprised to know this is for the first time in the country in the urban development. This much of investment has come from private sector.
Welcome to FaceTime with Leaders, a podcast by Directors Institute World Council of Directors. Here we sit down with industry change makers, boardroom thinkers, and future ready professionals to explore how leadership is evolving, especially in a world which is shaped by digital disruption, ESG, global governance, and strategic foresight. Today's guest is someone whose work quite literally shapes the places we live, work, and grow in. Mr. Dinesh Harode isn't just an urban planner, he's a system builder. Over the last 3 decades, he's helped design and manage smart cities, industrial hubs, sanitation reform programs, and governance models across India and abroad, from Tamil Nadu to Oman to the Caribbean, whether it's overseeing the master plan of a 4.7 million square meter industrial city in Oman or training over 5,000 officials in inclusive city governance. His journey reflects not just technical depth, but a rare kind of purpose driven leadership. And today on FaceTime with Leaders, we are diving into the heart of urban transformation and the leadership mindset that it takes to drive change at scale. Mr. Harode, it's a pleasure to have you with us. Welcome to FaceTime with Leaders.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Likewise, sir, and we are looking to a very insightful conversation. So without further ado, let's begin. So, Mr. Harode, could you take us through your journey in your own words? How did you find your way into urban development planning, and what's the story behind the path you've walked so far?
So I call myself as a urban specialist who have grown in the sector for more than 3 decades. I've been technically trained in geography, urban planning, and urban management from international institutes across the globe, including CEPT Ahmedabad, um, IHS Rotterdam, and I've been working in urban transformation sector for more than 30 years now. So my journey, some of the key milestones I would like to refer here is,
Sure.
basically designing the entire smart city mission and
Mm.
AMRUT mission for Government of India, working very closely with Additional Secretary Dr.
Right.
Samir Sharma, who has been my mentor as well. Who himself is a senior urban specialist in the sector. I worked very closely with him for more than 4 years and designed this entire program, which actually rolled out in 100 cities across the country. And it has shown remarkable results on the ground, changing and transforming people's lives on ground.
Right. Right. Is there anything more that you want to add?
Yeah, so I started my journey as a geographer. I did my master's in geography. Subsequently, I got an opportunity to do masters in urban planning, urban and regional
Right.
planning from CEPT Ahmedabad, which is again an international institute of
Right.
repute in the country. I would call it, policy planning number one in the country as far as policy planning is concerned. And subsequently, I joined a couple of institutes to gain some experiences on ground. took a break to gain experience, and then again, did my master's in urban management from IHS Rotterdam Institute of Housing and Urban Development Studies, which is again an international institute. And subsequently, I started practicing, working with multiple companies across the country and abroad. Last 10 years journey, I would say I've become independent. I've been working as an independent, consultant
Right.
into the urban space, urban policy framework. Worked very closely with institutes, with companies like KPMG, Deloitte, Artelia Group, which is again an international group. Mm, yeah, and so on and so forth. So
Right.
this has been my journey so far.
Right.
Currently, I'm actually, designing a master plan for a city called small city, inhabiting about 1 lakh persons in Sood.
Okay.
It's an industrial city, partially habited, um, but we are planning to have, develop it in a more planned manner, and bring more industrial tenants out there, more investment
Hmm.
in there, so that
Hmm.
it becomes a proper work lived place, play
Understood.
kind of city, within the periphery of say 4 to 5 square kilometers.
Right. Right. So it's been quite an interesting journey from your days as a student and a geographer, to be more specific, to your current position. And I think you shared that with so much of candor. So thank you for that. It's a very thoughtful journey. And moving on to the next question. Uh, Mr. Harode, master planning for a 4.7 million square meter industrial city in Oman isn't your regular weekday job. So, can you take us behind the scenes a bit? How can you even begin to design a work, live, play industrial space that aligns with both national vision and everyday human life?
Yeah, so I'll take you a little bit in the background.
Yes.
Since I was one of the key architects, I would say, who has designed the Smart City Mission and AMRUT mission in Ministry of Urban and Housing Affairs, Government of India, working very closely with the senior bureaucrats,
Mm,
senior leaders, urban specialists in the country. I got this opportunity since the mission has closed in March 2025, uh, to work in Oman. And this is a typical master planning project wherein an industrial city which has, been in
mm,
existence since last, I would say, 15, 20 years, but could not flourish for various reasons. Maybe, the climatic
understood.
conditions are harsh here. It's a dry desert. It's a dry
Mm,
desert in Oman, although it's a coastal area, but we have certain, I would say, attractive investment indicators as well, which I
mm,
thought would be a great challenge to, look into in greater depth, and see how this city, which is currently a, morning to evening kind of life that is existing in the city, to make it more vibrant, more dynamic,
mm,
and with more public participation,
mm,
make it more happening city. That's what is the whole intention behind it. Uh, since it's an industrial city, there is no doubt that investment has to come. Currently, there are about 100 tenants, which is very small number, I would say. Given the scale of the city that we are working on, we want to attract investment from abroad, across the country, not only from the Middle East, uh,
mm.
also from Europe, Asia, US, UK, so that
Wow.
tenants come here, use the raw material which is around it, which is in abundance in the nearby
Correct.
area, in terms of minerals, magnesium, calcium, and other
Wow.
minerals that is hidden behind the dry desert that is here, and make it productive, goods that could be value added and sold in the international market. That is the whole idea behind it. And at the same time, what I have noticed here is that, the social engagement part of it, the laborers which are working here, they are mostly from India, Pakistan, Bangladesh,
Bangladesh.
those laborers are there, but they are living in a very, very, I would say, shabby conditions. Let's think about them as well. Let them,
Understood.
have a kind of proper, decent living, decent working, have
Correct.
them social infrastructure around them, a place to
Right.
entertain, place to play, in the leisure time, and
Right.
spend time on the beaches. More from the tourist perspective as well, it's a fantastic beach around. So it has to be like intrinsic, involving planning assignment, wherein when it will roll out,
Mm.
definitely it will attract investment. Definitely it will
Mm.
attract a good number of laborers, good professionals to work, and the
Mm.
economy will have, multiple layers.
Absolutely.
So
Yes.
which will, become more dynamic in due course of time.
Right.
This is all the, whole idea behind it, I would say. Yeah.
So I think what you have converted that place into would be a push factor in most situations, but you have made it a pull factor to draw more immigration in, I
Exactly.
think.
Exactly. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So thank you for sharing that with us. And I think that's genuinely eye-opening. It's incredible how much thought goes into a city like that, especially one that has to serve both the economy as well as humanity. So thank you for sharing that with us. So, Mr.
Definitely.
Harode, you've worked on PPP frameworks in projects across India and even Qatar. And we often hear about how powerful PPPs can be, but also how messy they get when interests clash. From your experience, what's one way to truly make public private partnerships equitable and sustainable?
Yeah, very nice question. Very interesting question. Actually, PPP, it's used as a very, very common parlance. People use it, each project call it PPP. Actually, it is not. It involves a lot of intricacies, a lot of complexities, and each
Hmm.
project is unique in itself. Uh, Public-private partnership, by its name itself, is very clear that
Hmm.
a private person, private vendor would come in, they will
Okay.
invest, or a certain role has been fixed for private sector contractor, and government is an equal partner with the private player, uh, and then it gets rolled out for the public. So
Okay.
nowadays actually we use this term called not only triple P, but four times P. So public private partnership, public private partnership. So public is also very, very important in the entire gamut of things. Basically, when we have to ensure that they are important stakeholders. So you just cannot ignore them, cannot just leave them. You
Hmm.
have to involve them in the entire design process. I would briefly run through what kind of work I have done in Qatar.
Sure.
Basically, it was an e-governance program which
Okay.
government of Qatar wanted to roll out through self-service terminals. It was way back in 2011 when just e-governance was a buzzword. Nowadays we talk of m-governance and other things that we want things to be on mobile. But those days e-governance was the thing that people wanted to be there. All government services at one go and one platform on the e-gov platform. And they also don't want to invest any money into it. They wanted private player to come in, manage the entire operation,
Hmm.
and gain, recover back his investment through the user fee that people would be paying. So that's the whole idea behind it, and it was designed by me, and then it was rolled out by government of Qatar, which was these self-service terminals were installed
Hmm.
at various public places wherein people can go and whatever government services they want in terms of government, driving
Hmm.
license to paying their utility bills to whatever they want,
Correct.
could be done through one common platform. Uh, Coming back to India, when in under Smart City Mission also we have actually implemented projects worth of 11,000 crores.
Okay.
That is through PPP. And you'll be surprised to know this is for the first time in the country in the urban development. This much of investment has come from private sector. And
Right.
again, they will be given time to, recover the money. It could be 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, depending on the scale of the project.
Hmm.
One of the examples I can talk of, the project of solid waste management, integrated solid waste management utility that has been created in Jabalpur, a city
Okay.
called Jabalpur,
Right.
wherein entire waste management is being taken care by a private group called SL Group. They have come up with the investment. It's a it's a plant wherein not only waste is treated in a sustainable manner, but energy is generated and power is being, taken back to the national grid.
Right.
And the money is recovered through selling the power to the national grid. This is also
Ah.
a unique example which is working absolutely fine in the country currently. And so after that, there were similar examples that has come up in various other cities and which has
Hmm.
been working. Um, no one even thinks of making money out of waste, but this kind of examples shows you how you can make money out of the waste. Household waste,
Right.
generated municipal waste that is generated
Understood.
in our cities.
Hmm.
Of course, scale matters because you need adequate waste to come in those plants. Otherwise, it will not function. It will not work, economically in a sustainable manner.
Hmm.
Similarly, we have, as part of the team, when I was team leader of the Smart City Mission with Government of Madhya Pradesh for
Hmm.
7 smart cities of Madhya Pradesh, we have actually designed a street lighting program for 450 urban local bodies in Madhya Pradesh, which is with zero investment from the government side, and private vendors are coming. They are
Oh.
installing, they are changing the conventional street lights to LED street lights, which is again, energy saving LED lights. Uh, so whatever energy saved is, given as returns to investment to the private vendor who is bringing in the investment. Apart from that, they are not only installing those and installing those lights, street lights across the city, but also
Hmm.
maintaining it for the period of 14, 15 years, which is again, I would say, zero investment from the government side, municipal body side. In fact, they are not only it's not only zero investment, but they are also gaining money. Some money is being paid on an annual basis from the energy saved by the private vendor
Oh.
to government. So this is also a unique example which is currently working across the country in various urban
Right.
local bodies, various municipal corporations, and going forward, it has a bright future, I would say.
Right. Mr. Harode, I had a maybe might be a very simple questions, but my question is, why would a private investor uh, want to invest their earnings into government sector places, like you said, installing street lights? Um, what are they gaining out of it? Yes, in this instance, you said yes, they are whatever electricity is saved is, I mean, given to them or something like that. But what else are they gaining out of it?
So, there are multiple angles to it. They are getting employment for the people, generating employment.
Okay.
Whatever power is being saved is not only converting into money, which is used for their salaries, operation and maintenance of the utilities that are being created, and at the same time, uh, they are making profits, and those profits are being, shared. That is what public-private partnership is.
Mm,
These people are sharing that profit with government in a fixed model that we generate uh,
mm,
on a increasing side. Basically, in the first
right.
year they might get low returns, low profits, but
Mm.
in
But
subsequent
then it,
years, 14 years, 15 years down the line, they'll be making huge amount of profits. So those profits has to be shared with government in a fixed model. Um, and
right.
that is how these models become sustainable.
Would they
So
also
as
be
I said,
considered as CSR initiatives?
yeah, of course. In fact,
Right.
CSR initiatives are also open for it. In fact, not in public-private partnership, I would say, but increasingly in Smart Cities mission, the cities are open for CSR investment as well. Anyway, in the corporate groups, you have 2% of your profit. You need to
Right.
invest mandatorily by the corporates in CSR. So those companies are also getting opportunity to invest in their cities. Best example, I
Understood.
would say, is Ahmedabad. Ahmedabad, you must have, I don't know whether you have visited or not, but if you have visited, many of the roundabouts, they have been owned by, not owned exactly, but being maintained by various corporate groups like Ashima Group, Arvind Mills,
Oh.
they are basically maintaining those roundabouts with putting their, banner hoardings, and as well as
Mm,
making it beautiful, aesthetically,
mm,
good looking for people to, feel good about it. So this is
mm,
how this entire transformation is happening. This is how cities are becoming aesthetically more
mm.
appealing and more livable for people to be there.
Understood. Right. Thank you for responding. Mr. Harode, you've led programs that champion inclusion from safe sanitation to women's empowerment to resettlement and rehabilitation. So, what do you think why do you think rather social safeguards often get sidelined in urban planning? And what's your take on how we can change that?
Yeah, very interesting question, Priya. You know, I would thank multilateral aid agencies for bringing in social safeguards, not only social, but social and environmental safeguards into entire gamut of planning that we do in the country currently. Uh, Previously, we never used to think about, the social part, the environmental part. If you go 20,
Correct.
30 years back down the line, but now these agencies are enforcing, and the impact of this is not only the funded projects by World Bank, ADB, or BRICS, the new development bank, but other projects which government are running by their own funds,
Mm,
central government, state government. The social angle is brought in, the environmental angle is brought in, and it
correct.
is important and it is not only mandatory from the regulatory perspective. It is also important to make it more sustainable, that social angle and environmental angle has to be brought in. I would give you an example. I was leading an ADB assignment in Tamil Nadu
Okay.
4 5 years back, and this program is called TNUFIP, which was funded by ADB, Asian Development Bank.
Mm,
There we were actually bringing in physical infrastructure like sewerage and water supply in
correct.
9 cities of Tamil Nadu. Uh, and this was basically civil works, nothing else. But thanks to ADB, they have been pushing for gender inclusive planning,
Mm,
because when you see sanitation part of it, I would say women are the most sufferers, in the entire gamut
true.
of things. So they are in the bottom of the pile, bottom of the line, wherein they have to bear all the burns. Uh, so it is very important that they should be considered while designing, while planning for sanitation for them. So uh, this gender inclusive planning was incorporated. We made gender inclusive uh, uh, plans for them. We ensured that they own the physical infrastructure that is coming up. Water supply pipelines,
Mm,
where should be the outlet,
right.
what height the tap should be, those kind of aspects have been considered. And not only this, there were committees that were made, women committees, self-help groups made, wherein these issues have been discussed very, very openly, very, very, I would say, to the bottom of the planning. Um, and then their views have been incorporated in the preparation of the DPR, preparation of the plan, and then rolling it out for themselves, so that they later on, when the infrastructure is ready to use, they will use it without any hesitation. At the same time, it was a COVID time. It was a tough time. We ensured we actually took a lot of training programs to ensure how safe sanitation could be part and parcel of their life. And we took various programs, like, simple things. How to keep how to wash your hands in a, proper manner, with a proper sanitized manner, because COVID was spreading, and the spread was to be controlled. Uh, Women are the, could be one of the carriers, because they are going to the public post for bringing in, for filling in the water. Uh, Although Tamil Nadu is comparatively better state, I would say, in terms of infrastructure, as far as infrastructure is concerned. But yeah, so if you go to the remote villages, remote towns, things are not very green from that side. I would also give you an example of inclusive planning in the smart city mission, wherein we have, we have come up with more than, I would say, 1,000 parks across various smart cities. And these parks, if you go and see, and you compare with the parks that were made, during the earlier regime, I would say, prior to 2014, you will see drastic difference. Various aspects have been brought in, designing of the parks. Parks has to be inclusive. It has to be not only for, it should not be only, it should be seen from the parlance of health. It should be seen parlance of, well-being, aesthetics. Physical infrastructure is of course there. The greenery has to be adequate. There should be adequate play areas for kids, for women, for men to, sit, chat, spend their leisure time. It should have adequate lighting during the evenings. People are coming early morning, people are coming for walks, so adequate lighting has to be there, so that it should not become an area of, social apathy, social crime, that is for the cities. So all those angles have been brought in. And I would like to give an example of, again, going back to Jabalpur, because I have worked in Jabalpur as a team leader in Smart City Mission. It's a very small town. It's a small town, but we have designed a park there, very close to the municipal corporation, which has various, unique features. You would see there's a place, there's a gazebo wherein people can play. Any musician can come and play music, and it will have a very good echo sound around. Anybody who is sitting inside the gazebo will have beautiful feel of the music that a person, if he is playing a flute, they will have, out of world experience. We have places like, forest machans. You must have seen machans in the forest. So there's an elevated semi-permanent hut kind of thing, wherein kids and, adults can go at the top, have a beautiful view. There are water bodies inside. There is a skating ring inside, wherein where can kids can come and do skating practice. Uh, if you see the pictures, it's amazing. It's out of the world. And first time when we actually designed and we have implemented that, it was like, we are creating something which we normally used to see in foreign countries, but now in our country it is there. So it's open to public, and people are enjoying it. It's much more livable space, much more healthier space, and people to spend time, leisure time there.
But Mr. Harode, I think the way you worded it and the anecdotes you shared, it really, shows how inclusion isn't a soft value, but a structural choice. And it's clear that equity isn't just the ethical thing. I think it's a smart move in long-term planning. So thank you for sharing that. And we're going to shift our gears a little bit, Mr. Harode. We are going to have a rapid fire segment where I'll ask you a few short questions which have ideally one word responses. And we'd like you not to think about it, like respond as though it's your first gut response. The first question is, what's one word your team would use to describe you?
Holistic, balanced.
Holistic. Okay, we'll take that. The next question, your first job and one lesson that it taught you.
Never give up, keep trying, and be consistent.
Okay. And your first job?
My first job was with Center for Science and Environment, New Delhi.
Okay.
If I want to give you a little background, um, it was basically on environmental rating of Indian industries. It was a UNDP program way back in 1999,
Okay.
wherein uh, we were interacting with the corporates, top corporate 500, Fortune 500 companies, uh, checking out their environmental compliances vis-a-vis not only the regulatory frameworks in the country, but overall green reporting initiatives, international standards, how they are meeting
Right.
ISO 14001,
Okay.
where they stand, those kind of things.
Right.
So, industries have this tendency of hiding things which they want to cut corners and make money, not spending too much on the environment side, and we were ensuring that it should be
Right.
eco-friendly, environmental friendly, sustainable operations that industry should be
Right.
doing.
Right.
So it was a task. Yeah, it was a challenge.
Okay. Right. Thank you. And we move on to the next question, that one place in India that never fails to inspire you.
So I would call my trip to Gangtok,
Okay.
which is
Yes,
yeah,
that's it.
which
Yeah.
is
Thank
actually
you.
eye opener. Okay, which is actually eye opener for me. Yeah.
Okay. Gangtok, Sikkim. It's a beautiful place. I've been there. I agree. Next question, a book or a film that's influenced your thinking lately.
So I would like to quote Lagan, the
Sure.
Amir Khan's movie, which is
Yes.
like, never ever give up. Keep trying, keep trying, keep trying. And
Absolutely.
you might fail 1,000 times, but 1,001 time you will definitely be, come out as a winner.
Absolutely. Thank you. Very inspiring. We'll take that. And finally, the last question, if you could whisper an advice, a piece of advice to yourself, what would you say?
Composed, calm, don't react immediately.
Okay. Respond but not react.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you. I think that was a really fun rapid fire, and I'm sure our audience is going to have an insight into a different side to your personality. So thank you for being so candid. So, moving on, Mr. Harode, given your extensive experience in urban planning and policy, how do you make sure that transparent governance is followed, is the order of the day, and you prevent misuse in land pooling or development schemes? So, what do you do to ensure that none of these happen?
Yeah. So, in urban planning, land pooling is one of the important tools that is being used very frequently. And you talk of any development projects, be it highways, be it ring roads, or
Hmm.
housing colonies.
Hmm.
Uh, this various land pooling models are in operation.
Hmm.
It's very wherever land is involved. It's since it's a scarce resource, there is
Hmm.
attached fishy dealings to it.
Hmm.
But government has to ensure it is their duty, and it's their since it's a state subject. It is more often the duty of the state to ensure that the operations are clean, all dealings are clean, and uh, just to give you an example,
Sure.
Gujarat has a very good town planning scheme model, which is again it renowned model across the country,
Hmm.
wherein uh, uh, planned development can take place in a new area, wherein
Hmm.
people themselves pool their land and
Right.
uh, for the common utilities, for the common infrastructure
Hmm.
in a specified colony, residential area, industrial area, whatever it is.
Right.
Uh, a space is allocated for the common utilities, common
Correct.
services,
Hmm.
And this model is so successful, so it takes less time to implement, and it is currently being used in where multiple states, including Maharashtra, Bihar, and others. Various cities have started using it, and
Mm,
number one, it gives flexibility to individuals to make better use of their land parcels
correct.
in a meaningful manner, uh, in a planned manner, in a sustainable manner. You give space to all the utilities that is required, the services that are required for any habitable place to be there. And third, and the most important part is all parties, all individuals, all landowners,
Mm,
they don't have any grudges because you get value for your land.
correct.
The value of the land get enhanced multiples. So this is how a town planning scheme is being rolled out across the country. I would say now many cities are doing it.
Mm,
When you come towards the basically the dealing part, increasingly all the states are using e-tendering modules, which is again a I would say transparent module wherein all your financials are being taken care of. Technical proposal goes on one side, financial proposal
correct.
goes on one side, and financial proposal nobody knows which party has put in what price, until and
Correct.
unless that particular um, online module is open at a particular time. When it is disclosed, price bid is open, and then the tender is awarded to the private party. So this is one of the way to control any kind of financial irregularities in the system,
Mm,
and it should be used more often, and it should be used across the country in various government departments.
right. Thank you. I think that was a very insightful response and a very steady and wise perspective. And it's also reassuring to hear how governance isn't just about policy papers, a checklist, but also about values, systems, and the people who hold them accountable. So I think you've made some very significant points. As we near the end of the interview, Mr. Harode, you've recently joined Directors Institute and are pursuing the International Corporate Directorship Program. So, what made you take that step, and how has the experience added to your leadership journey?
Interesting question, Apriya. I I just saw this advertisement come popping up in the Facebook, and then I thought, let me explore this particular option as well, because as part of the smart city mission, in 100
Hmm.
smart cities, we tried a different model of implementation for the very first time in the country, which is
Hmm.
called SPV model. Earlier, all projects, all assignments in urban development space used to be, you know, done by either the municipal corporation or the urban development authorities which are
Hmm.
existing in those cities. But for the very first time, to execute the projects in a meaningful manner, in a time-bound manner, we came up with this concept of special purpose vehicle,
Hmm.
which was again derived from multiple international project execution
Hmm.
bodies. I'll give you an example of South Africa Water Supply Company, uh, wherein one company is managing the entire water supply
Hmm.
in cities across South Africa, uh,
Right.
doing project from planning to designing to implementing to maintaining and distribution. So this is how they are specialized into one particular activity, say water supply, one particular infra water, and they are excelling into it, giving best satisfaction to their customers. So
Hmm.
similar models across the country have been studied, and then we brought in this model of SPV in smart cities way back in, I would say, 2005. Sorry, 2015, when the mission was launched, smart city mission was
Right.
launched. So
Right.
this special purpose vehicles were nothing but corporate companies registered under the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, and as per the Companies Act 2013,
Hmm.
there for the first time, I came to know the importance of independent directors, because independent directors, they were brought in, they were asked to join the SPV and contribute in the best possible manner in terms of their leadership, their strategic partnerships, bring in more investment, because it's not only the government funding that goes to SPV from the center and state, it is also other funding sources which these SPVs were supposed to explore and seek funds from.
Understood.
So, uh, so we started putting in independent directors from ministry itself, as a ministry representative. But subsequently, we tried to bring in good professionals from outside, who were, I would not say technically trained in in the independent directorship role, but they played very crucial roles in designing the project and rolling out the project, the way it has to be executed, the kind of challenges that they might face on the ground, and how to overcome them. So, we got various urban specialists in the country who were, I would say, in the range of 40 plus, having substantial experience in the sector. Uh, they contributed wisely and comprehensively while rolling out the smart city mission.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. And I think it's a very powerful reflection. So you're continuously sharpening not just your skills, but also your perspective, the lens, and how seriously you take the responsibility of designing systems that are both ethical and future ready. So, Mr. Dinesh Harode, thank you so much, not just for sharing your knowledge, but also for showing us the why behind it, your experience across continents, your attention to inclusion, and the systems thinking you bring to every project. It all comes through very naturally. So, thank you for a very insightful conversation. And thank you once again for joining us on FaceTime with Leaders.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for inviting me for this wonderful show. It's a pleasure to be with you and talking about my, wonderful experiences across 3 decades. Thanks a lot.
Likewise, sir, likewise. And to everyone listening, to our audience members, whether you're in governance, infrastructure, or you're just curious about how great cities are built, we hope that this episode sparked a few new ideas. This is FaceTime with Leaders, powered by Directors Institute. And until next time, lead with clarity, build with integrity, and stay future ready. Thank you and take care.